guys? Today we will be discussing about one of the topics here in this book entitled Making Life Worth Living by Napoleon B. Mabacchio Jr., PhD. I am Diana Andrea Q. Domingo, and we will be focusing on Chapter 6, Interacting with Society, Lesson number 14, State Power, Structure and Limits. We will be guided by the question, what is the best structure of the state to exercise its power, and what are the limits of this power? The first subtopic is structuring state power. Our goal after this discussion is to answer the questions. First, what is the ideal structure for the state? Second, how should the state be organized so that it can effectively exercise its political power? And third, who should rule? Let us now begin on the form of government, which is first Aristotle's Politics 1958 classification on various forms of government, where he based on two classifications. First is the number of rulers, who is ruled by one, few, or many. Second is the rulers who rule to advance, first, the common good or a private good. The types of government are 1. The ruler of one. Monarchy or kingship considered as the good one, and dictatorship as the bad one. Second, ruler by the few. Aristocracy as the good one, and oligarchy as the bad one. Third, ruler of many. First, constitutional as the good one, and democracy as the bad one. In modern times, however, there are other ways of classifying the forms of government in terms of how leaders are elected and kind of economic system adopted. This rise to presidential, parliamentary, federal, socialist, and others. Now, we will be focusing on democracy. Democracy is the rule of the poor. Since poor constitute the majority of the society, democracy is considered as the rule of the many. Democracy has now become the widely accepted standard for good government. We now generally call government that we consider good as democratic, while the bad one as undemocratic. Regarding this statement, we can conclude that democratic has become synonymous to good government. Democracy is usually defined as having a government that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. Of the people in that citizens institute the government. By the people, it is run by the citizens, by their representatives, and for the people, since it promotes common good. The important feature of democracy is the division of the government's function. First, executive. It is the power referring to making peace or war, sending or receiving embassies, and establishing public security. Number 2, legislative. It is the power to enact temporary and perpetual laws and amending those that have been enacted. Third, judicial. It is the power to punish criminals or resolving disputes among individuals. Overall, this power should be attached to offices that are independent to one another to prevent abuse of power and ensure the balance of power. Let us now go on the challenges to democracy. Number 1, getting the right rulers. It is first posed by Plato and is one of his written works, The Republic, book number 6, where he compared ruling a state into navigating a ship. Supposedly, the members of the crew wanted to change the captain with someone new. Aspirants for the position may quarrel to each other and form factions to devise strategies to grab the position. The one who will get the position might have the skill or power to do so or enjoys the support of the majority of the group. However, it is completely and totally different from the skill of navigating a ship. Then, what will happen next in this situation? Assuming that the one who grabbed the position has no skill in navigating, as Plato have described, the ship will turn into a drunken pleasure cruise. Plato's point is that navigation is a skill and the one who assumed the position of a captain should be the one who has the best skill in navigation. This is called craft analogy. It is said that ruling a state is no different from other professions. To sum it up, Plato's point is that ruling for the people is not ruling by the people. Rather, it is ruling by the one most qualified to rule. The second challenge to democracy is getting the will of the people. There are two general ways to address it. Number 1, direct or participatory government. It is where people directly express their opinions to the government. However, there are some problems like long process of holding popular assembly to address the opinions of everyone. Second, representative democracy. It is where people elect their representatives who will make decisions in their behalf. However, the danger of this way is that representatives may push their personal interests rather than the common good. To summarize, the structure of the state's political power concerns with the kind of organization that the state should have to effectively exercise its political power over its citizens.
Now, we will be talking about the second subtopic of state power, forms and limits. I am Kristein and now we will talk about the limits of state power. First is individual freedom. John Stuart Mill proposes a principle that serves as a guide determining the limits of state power over individual freedom. This principle is called Mill's liberty principle or harm principle. Mill's harm principle means that a person's freedom of action can only be justifiably limited if such exercise of freedom of action will bring harm to other people. This principle is based on two distinctions. First is self-regarding actions, which means that these actions directly or immediately affect the doer of the actions, while the other regarding actions are actions that directly or immediately affect other people. This principle only applies to mature and rational citizens and excludes children, mentally ill individuals, and uncivilized persons. Overall, this principle justifies that it leads to maximization of overall happiness of the citizens of the state. Mill's harm principle specifies 3 regions of human liberty, wherein the state has no power to intervene. The first region is the region of consciousness, which means liberty to thought and feeling. Second is taste and pursuits, which means freedom of forming our plan to suit our own character. Lastly, forming association, which means freedom to unite. The second topic of the limits of the state power is economic freedom, which concerns human activity in the market, such as producing, buying, marketing, and selling goods that is responsible for creating the wealth of the society. This economic freedom will help us answer the question, how should the state manage economic activities in order to lead to social good? First is capitalism that argues in the elimination of state intervention in the economic activities. Capitalism is justified by John Locke. John Locke believes that every human is endowed with natural rights and the primary function of the state is to administrate punishment in order to protect the citizens' rights. It is also justified by Adam Smith as utilitarian grounds by appealing to its beneficial consequences. This argument is called invisible hand. Next is socialism that argues for the centralized system of social intervention. Socialism is justified by Karl Marx and it has 3 root concepts. First concept is historical materialism. Historical materialism has 2 structures. First is the substructure, which focuses on the economical aspect of production. Second is the superstructure, which focuses on state and popular ideologies. Second is exploitation, wherein capitalists exploit workers by giving them subsistence wages. Lastly is alienation. Alienations are workers that are being dehumanized and being separated from their true selves. To sum it up, the limits of the state power concern the extent to which the state can exercise its political power over its citizens.
I am Andrea.
I am Kristein.
Thank you for watching and we hope that you learned something.